Welcome to the show. It is a great time to be a Drover. The baseball team is in the NAIA National Tournament for the first time in school history, and the Drover softball team did a great job in the conference tournament and represented the university well. Today we have Ken Richardson on the show to talk about the 2013 Drover softball season. This is In the Saddle.
Ball is tipped, there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star. And all the years, no one knows just how hard you worked, but now it shows. In one shining moment, it's all on the line. One shining moment, frozen in time.
Welcome to the show. Today we have assistant coach Ken Richardson on the show to wrap up the 2013 softball season. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. So not a bad season at all. The girls ended up 26-26. So talk about the season a little bit.
Well, we'll just go back to the beginning, the fall, with a new coach, getting to know the players, and them getting to know her. And that's it. When you come in with a team that's already set from another coach, you never know what's going to happen. But they all did. They went together and played together with this coach. And you start out working conditioning and stuff in the fall, and that's really when you get to know a person, how they work and how they do. And then you start, and right off the bat we lose a player, and then we start in the spring and lose another one that was a key spot for us. But we survived. I'm proud of the girls, and they did a good job. Good.
We definitely were plagued with injuries. Both players, I think, that you mentioned were second basemen, with Skylar Nichols being our starting second baseman for this was her third season. So definitely a lot of rough circumstances to get through.
Yes. It was, you had to fill that spot. You had to patch up, bring in kids that maybe had probably played the position, but it's been a while they had, and it's rough for a person to move in that spot and really do what Skylar did. And I remember when we first started off, we played OCU, and I don't know how many putouts she made. I know at least 10, and we ended that game with on a double play, her and Taylor, and that was good. But she tore her ACL probably a week later, and that was a big loss. But the girls, like I say, I pat the girls on the back. They did a good job.
You brought a lot of girls into that position to kind of see who would fit best in taking over that difficult spot.
Well, yeah, we used several, and you wind up playing with the basketball players, and she's scared to death out there playing second base. But Sheena did a good job when she was there.
Great job. How did you and Coach Wallis really rally the girls to stay motivated and to want to continue to play through those tough spots?
Well, you have to look at, most of them were seniors, and they knew how to get through things, but we still pushed them to get where they need. Don't dwell on what happened. Dwell on what we're going to do go ahead and play another game. And it's hard to do, because I've been there before, but they did a good job. Like I say, I'll pat them on the back every time because they did a good job.
Well, we had 5 players named all-conference second team, with Brooke McLeod, Taylor Smith, Ashley Rasovic, Katie Jirak, and Chelsea Zuchnik. And Chelsea actually also got Gold Glove. So talk about those players.
We'll start out with Brooke. She was a pitcher and did a good job this year. And then she first started out, she wasn't hitting in the rotation, and brought her in to hit, and she hit the ball well. So she basically stayed there, but also pitched. I'll pat her on the back because she did a good job. I think she was like 17 and 11 or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But Taylor Smith, the shortstop, always does a good job. And she'll be a senior next year, and we'll really miss her as a shortstop. And Mitchell, which I always call her Mitchell, the third baseman, did a good job for us. And she's moving on, even though she still has a year of eligibility left, but she wanted to move on with her life, and that's fine.
Graduated.
Right, graduated. And then we have Katie, which is a senior moving on, and she did a good job at the plate and good job in the outfield. Same well as Chelsea. Chelsea has an outstanding arm out there in center field. People try to run on her, and which was a mistake. She did a good job. And Golden Glove, she deserved it.
I think that Chelsea's only error in 2 seasons with us was when she got moved into third base in like a game or two.
Yeah.
So no errors out in center field.
Right.
So definitely crucial.
Yeah, and we moved her at third, and she did a good job there. So, you know, like we say, we moved players here and there, and that's, you know, but we got through it.
Yep. So with those players, you know, 3 of those players are not going to be back for graduating or out of eligibility, and a couple other seniors. Also, how have you guys worked to fill those spots? How's recruiting going?
I think right now we have 7 or 8 commitments, and I think 7 of them are signed. We got waiting on a couple other kids to commit to us. But overall, I think Coach Wallis is doing a good job of recruiting, and I think when she's here and establish herself a couple of years, I think she'll do a good job, and the kids coming in, I think they'll help us out.
Good. How do you work in the off season? How do you guys work with the girls? What's the plan?
Well, off season, if you're talking about summer stuff, we won't probably do a whole lot with them. We'll send out workout sheets for they can start working out, learn what we need to do this fall, and when they come in, we start conditioning. That's all what fall is about, is conditioning, and we'll play a couple, 3 games, and that's it. You know, all that, and then we go to 6 o'clock in the morning and do all that lifting and swimming and all that good stuff.
So do you feel like softball has an advantage being a spring sport, that you have your freshmen for a whole semester to kind of train them and work on their conditioning before the season starts?
It is an advantage in a way, because you get to know the coach, they get to know the players and what they can do and what they can't do, and then you try to form them into a group just so they can play as a team, because you know you'll always, you know, girls always have their little spats, but that you get over that. But
yeah.
So, but it is an advantage, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for being on the show, and we look forward to an even better 2014, hopefully with fewer injuries.
All right, thank you for having me.
Now it's time for Fan of the Week. Each week we pick our Fan of the Week, who wins an awesome t-shirt as recognized on our show and on our USAO Drovers Facebook page. Last week's Fan of the Week was Nancy Lewis. Again, congratulations. And this week's Fan of the Week, Pamela Roth. Congratulations to you. That's our show. Next week we'll be talking Drover baseball on In the Saddle.
Batter up.